Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all today? I am your teacher Miss Saima Khurram, and in this session we will be dealing with the importance of chemistry in our daily life. We are going to be discussing the second chapter of general science, that is our life and chemistry. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to see how much of importance how much important is chemistry in our daily lives. So, all the products around us, if you try to look onto them, you will realize that they are nothing but chemicals. We're basically surrounded by chemicals, so much so that we cannot think of a life that do not have these. In fact, we ourselves are also chemists. Now, you must be wondering how. We have no knowledge of chemistry, or we don't do scientific measurements or something, but yes, we ourselves are also chemists. For example, let's say if you give a child to do something, let's say a painting. Let's say a child has few colors. He has only blue and yellow, and he is faced with a leaf to color with. Now, as you know, a child obviously knows the basic primary color knowledge, that when blue and yellow are being mixed, he is going to produce a new pigment that is green. Here also we have chemistry involved. Let's say you are making a cake. You have your ingredients with their written quantity. You are going to mix them according to the quantities given. The final product that you're going to have is nothing but that has been obtained by the reaction after the reaction has been carried out amongst all the ingredients. The cake is basically the product of a chemical reaction. All the things around us, if you see, like the dyes, the clothes, we have prints onto them, the dyes with which they are printed, they are chemicals. The detergent or the soap with which we clean our clothes, that is again a chemical. The book that you're reading right now, and the letters, the words that are being written, the ink with which they have been printed, that is a chemical. We have iron objects, metal objects, plastic objects all around us. They are nothing but products of chemistry. Our body is a whole big workshop of chemistry. We have digestion going on into it. The plants, they have photosynthesis going on to it, which balances the percentage of oxygen in the atmosphere. So we are basically surrounded by chemistry. As I already said, that a human body is basically a big workshop of chemistry. We have various elements in our body. If you go on to page number 24, you can see the table 2.1 that enumerates the basic building elements of a human body. You must have seen in some test of your parents that so and so has less iron, or you have less calcium. So basically there is an estimated amount of approximate percentage of these elements that is required for a healthy functioning body. If the content of that particular element goes below that or goes above that, then our body is going to malfunction. Some measures have to be taken to balance it out. Here's a list of the elements. Now beside these elements, there are certain trace elements also, that is given in table 2.2. These trace elements like iron, copper and iodine, they have great importance. For example, over here we are having iron. It is found in the red blood cells. It's involved in oxygen transport. And there are many other elements which are being written over here, and their various functions. Like sodium, it involved in the impulse generation in the nervous system in our brain. Calcium is important for the bones and teeth, and sulfur is also found in certain amino acids. Okay, now there are certain basic building elements in our human body, which have been found by research that 96% weight of our human body is due to the presence of four elements, that are oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, and carbon. Carbon is the element which is present in the most amount in our body. So we are going to study a little in detail about the element carbon. Okay, so basically carbon is found in the earth in the free and the combined state. Now when I meant to say free state means carbon as carbon only, like C. The symbol of carbon is C. And when I say the combined state, then combined state means in form of some compound. For example, carbon dioxide, CO2. Okay. So, or we can say carbon monoxide, CO, or some form of carbonate like sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, or bicarbonate like sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. So that is what the combined state is. So basically we have already discussed in the previous chapter that carbon is mostly found from earth crust. Okay, so from the earth crust, or and also in the atmosphere, as we know, in atmosphere we have carbon present in the combined state as carbon dioxide. It forms about 0.03% by volume in the air. Okay, and also carbon dioxide is formed in sea water. So now we are going to discuss about the various forms of carbon. As mentioned over here on your screen, allotropic form of carbon. Now before we go on to the allotropic form of carbon, let us discuss what do we mean by allotropic forms. Now, when an element exists without changing its state means there are three states basically, we know: solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, so an element which can exist without the change of state in more than two forms, in more than like one form basically, it is said that the whole phenomena is allotropy, and the different forms that the element is existing in are called the allotropes of it, or allotropic modifications. Now I'll give you a very simple example to understand that. You know that carbon, when I say carbon, what basically comes to your mind is coal, the black, lightweight material which is basically used for burning and as a fuel. Okay, that is carbon, yes. But let's go on to the other end. You must have heard that the hardest substance present on earth is diamond. And when we looked into the structure of diamond, we learned that diamond is nothing but it is carbon. Now that is an allotropic form of carbon, and you must be astonished. If you have the prior knowledge, very good, but if you don't know, then it must be very shocking to you to know that diamond is nothing but carbon, because when we say carbon, we have a black substance coming into our head like coal. But diamond, yes, it is again a carbon. But why they are so different? Because these two are two different allotropic forms. We'll continue this in the next video lesson, inshallah. Till then, assalamu alaikum.